What's up, the boxing world? Welcome to Strictly Boxing with Derek Poppy Rolon. Today I want to have a show, man. I want to discuss an upcoming fight this weekend, man. It's going to be a big fight out in Queens, New York, man. And the main event is Berlanga, but I really want to focus on the co-main event, which is Shakur Stevenson versus William Zapeda, fighting for the WBC lightweight championship. Well, before I get started, we'll talk about that fight, man. I want to talk about upcoming fight that we're having. Danny Gonzalez returns to the ring August 9th down in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock. August 9th, Danny Gonzalez will be returning, putting his 6-1 record on the line again. We should be moving up the ladder pretty soon, man. You're going to hear a lot about him, man. He's working hard. He made some adjustments. Dangerous Danny Gonzalez fighting at the Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Resort and Casino August 9th of this year, man. Getting ready for that, man. Also, I want to mention August 30th, I'm putting Elizabeth, New Jersey, is putting his annual boxing show on down at the waterfront, free for the community. Any contacts, you can contact me. If you want to get your fighters on, you can match me at Match My Boxer, and I'll do my best at making them a match. Here is our annual amateur boxing event, free for the entire community, sponsored by the City of Elizabeth, down at the waterfront, August 30th. Weigh-ins between 12 and 2. First bout is set to start at 3 p.m. Okay? That's August 30th. All right, listen, man. Derek Poppy Rolon, back at Strictly Boxing. I wanted to get that out the way. But I want to talk about Shakur Stevenson, man. Shakur Stevenson, 23-0 with 11 KOs. Right? WBC welterweight champion. Get a lot of things they're talking about Shakur, man. He's got a reputation. People talking about lackluster performances. People talking about he's running around the ring. He's not standing there. He's not boxing. Of course, if you know the sport of boxing, you know that you want to live. Standing there and slugging, it doesn't make you a champion. It's not a rock and roll type of thing, man. The sport of boxing is about boxing. I think Shakur Stevenson is one of the best. He's 29 years old. He's coming into his maturity. He's coming in there. I think this fight will let us know, though. Because William Zapeda, I think, is a legitimate opponent. William Zapeda is 33-0. He got 27 knockouts, so he got some crack. We could argue and we could discuss the quality of opponents that Zapeda's fought versus the quality of opponents that Shakur has fought. Now, Shakur has got, his opponents less losses than anyone in that division. Anyone, even including Tank. When you look at the opponents, the quality of opponents, we'll think that, the record shows that Shakur Stevenson's opponents has been of the better quality of opponents in the lightweight division. Two southpaws, though. I like that. There used to be a time we didn't see too many southpaws. We thought that it was, a rare thing to be seeing southpaws, but now you see southpaws all the time. This is southpaw versus southpaw. That's going to be, I think it's just as rare. Well, back in the day it was, for two southpaws to fight as if it was an orthodox fighting in southpaw. But now there's so many southpaws, we know it's just part of the game. So I think if you're really teaching guys to fight and training them, man, teach them to fight both ways, because so many people are southpaws but not really left-handed. And vice versa. You catch some orthodox fighters that's really could be left-handed. So, lead with your power hand or you lead with your unpowered hands. I don't know. All right, listen. Let's talk about that. Who did William Zapeda beat? He did beat Tevin Farmer twice. Those are two big victories that we looked at, But after watching Tevin Farmer fight this last week, we don't know if that he was worthy or maybe he was a better opponent when William Zapeda fought him. But Shakur Stevenson he hasn't proven himself as far as getting the fans to really come out and see him. I think that's the reason why we got him fighting on the undercard of a Belanga, whereas clearly Shakur Stevenson and Williams Zapeda should have been a main event fight. What do you guys think, man? We got the Mexican guy. My opinion is that the Mexican fighters fight alike. They're right in front of you and they come into you and they want to fight. Now that right there is easy fight for a person with Shakur's skills. Shakur's a boxer. He moves, he pops. If you're right in front of him, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to pick you apart. It's going to be easy, pop and move, pop and move, because he doesn't have anybody in front of him that's moving with him and boxing with him. He got somebody that's just going to stand in front of him and want to fight. Now, how can that hurt Shakur? Because we don't know the condition of his hands, because he might gotta throw more punches. He might, with Zapeda being an aggressive fighter and want to sit there and bring it, he might be more of like in line of hitting arms and elbows and getting blocks and stuff, whereas his hands could, face some problems if they're not fully healed. I watched Zapeda. Looks like he's a strong, like I said, game fighter. Shouldn't be able to beat Shakur Stevenson, though. But you never know in the sport of boxing. I don't think he should be able to beat Shakur Stevenson. This is Saturday night out in Queens. Like I said, main event is Berlanga. But the fight that we want to really talk about is the WBC World Lightweight Championship. Southpaw versus Southpaw. Shakur Stevenson is back. This right here should put us amongst to just silence all the questions people have about Shakur being, the De Los Santos fight or the other fight. People just always got something negative to say. But I think this is a time and an opportunity for Shakur to really prove himself and to show him his skills and talents to the world of boxing, because Williams Zapeda is one of those fighters that you're going to either have to, you're going to have to beat him. He's not going to be one of the guys that just fall apart. Although everybody says it's not the fighter, it's Shakur that makes the fighters. That everybody Shakur fights, he make them submit to him and do the same thing that everybody else do. So Saturday night, man, Williams Zapeda will be challenging the lightweight champion in the world, Shakur Stevenson. And I want to know what you think, man. Do you think that Shakur is a hype, or do you think Shakur really is one of the top fighters in the world today? This is Derek Poppy rolling that Strictly Boxing, man. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the channel, hit the thumbs up, man. If you got something to say about Williams Zapeda versus Shakur Stevenson, I would love to hear it. This is Derek Poppy rolling that Strictly Boxing. Peace.